Hello, my name is Gabriella. I think you don't know me. Pastor Duncan asked me to share something about my life. I was in your church last Sunday at the beginning of December, and I experienced something special. Normally I'm a journalist and I'm a storyteller, so I'm writing and I'm telling stories. And this is what I want to do today. First of all, many, many years ago, I think it was in 2006 maybe, I was in my hometown, not traveling yet for the Lord, but still was a Christian. My heart was already burning for Jesus like crazy. And it was a normal afternoon. I was preparing the dinner table because a friend wanted to come for dinner. Sorry. And the TV was on. There was a movie playing. It played in the time, I think it was 1970 or something like this. It was at the end of this fight, white against black people. And the main character, Denzel Washington, he was a coach. The film is called Remember the Titans. And it was about sports, so that a black coach trained the white people. And this was a no-go in this time. And it was really worse. And I was not really interested in this movie. But Holy Spirit said to me, sit down and watch. Okay, I sat down and watched. And there was a specific scene, and Denzel Washington was running with the white guys and also with the black guys through a forest in the morning. I think it was 4 o'clock in the morning or something like this. And they ended up at a field. And he was asking the people if somebody is knowing what this field are. Nobody knew. And then he said, and this is the field of Gettysburg, where 50,000 people died. So this green field was red, and it was a fight against black against the white people, and brother against brother, and father against son, and it was hatred all over. And he quoted, "I killed my brother with malice in my heart. Hatred destroyed my family." And in this moment, I still remember this Holy Spirit took over, and I landed on the floor, and I was weeping and weeping and weeping because in my living room, Jesus showed up and he was hanging on the cross. And I totally felt what he did on this day over 2,000 years ago. He died at the cross for his enemies. And in this afternoon, I think I was laying an hour or two on the floor and I was crying my head off because I understood what it means to love the enemy. And from this moment on, I was living a life of forgiveness. I'm coming out of a life from abuse, and my parents gave me away. They abandoned me 4 times. I came into a adopted family, and my adopted father abused me sexually when I was very young. My adopted mother hit me with school books, and she cased me into the basement, and I was sitting there in the dark for hours, and I was losing myself. But I never stopped loving them. This is when a little child got abused. They don't stop love the abuser. They started to hate themselves. And this was me, you know. In all my life, I had destroying relationships, and I was married twice, and my second husband was very abusive. He hit me and he beat me, and he abused me in every way, and it was very heavy. But still, I loved him. So, and it was very, very hard for me. I have written a book about it, so it's coming out next year in May, April in German, and maybe 1 month later in English. So I will give Duncan a shout when it's ready. Yeah, and I remember in 2022 I was in Israel. I traveled for 3 months through the country, and I was the last part was in Haifa. It's in the north of Israel. And on this time, the new Elvis movie came out, and Elvis was a kind of youth hero for me. So I'm loving music, and I went to the theater, and it was great. I went twice. I was in a Dolby Surround cinema, and it was really nice. So, but in this movie, there was also a specific scene when Martin Luther King was killed, and Elvis decided to sing a song, and the song based on what Martin Luther King dreamed of. So Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream that everybody can live together without hatred on the world." So, and Elvis was singing the song, "If I Can Dream." And I can say honestly about myself, I'm dreaming the same dream as Martin Luther King dreamed, and what Elvis was singing about. So, and Martin Luther quoted some things. "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do this. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do it." So, and this is for sure, and this is all about Jesus. So, the Bible is telling us that the perfect love casts out all fear. So, and I prayed this prayer for, I think, 3 years daily, because I needed the Father love of God, because of all the abuse I suffered from. And I never ever trusted people. Never ever. It was too heavy what I experienced in my life. So even when I came in 2001 or 2 to Jesus, I only trusted him. And it took me a long time to trust him. Relationship needs time, and trust is coming from conversations. So, and I can say about myself that I'm always being in conversation with Jesus. So, because I need that. Anyway, in 2004, I decided to leave my husband because he was so abusive, and so, but I still loved him. I loved him really deeply, and it took me years to overcome that, really. And I think 14 years later, it was in 2018, he died. He was full of cancer because of his drinking, because of whatever, his drugs. And I was so heartbroken. But I discovered at this day when I received the message that he had died, that I felt it for 4 days ago. I felt it at the weekend. I felt it that he died. So we were still some kind of soulmate, I think. I hadn't seen him for decades of years, But anyway, in 2018, I could honestly say, now I'm a widow somehow, and I can grieve. And I discovered that I closed my heart in 2004, totally, because I was so hurt. I remember the time when the divorce took place, I had a kind of feeling in my heart like a heart attack. And there was so much pain in it, and for weeks. So, and I couldn't handle this, so, and I closed my heart for everybody. I never trusted people anyway, so why not closing my heart? But when you are closing your heart, you can't love people. That's not possible. So because you're always afraid that you get hurt, and this is not a question of not getting hurt, because you're always getting hurt. The question is how you're responding to this when you are getting hurt. So, and for me, it was really a miracle. 3 months ago, I met a wonderful stranger, and he was the reason I could open my heart again after 21 years. And I never felt like this, because he is the one I'm really trusting in as a person, beside of Jesus. So, but this is not the point here. The point is that I opened my heart, and I prayed to God, and I said to God, I will never, ever close my heart again. It doesn't matter what, because otherwise the people can't find Jesus in me. And we need this lifestyle of forgiveness. I always forgave the people, but I never opened my heart again, because I was so afraid to get hurt again. So, and now I'm here, and I have opened up my heart and get hurt. This is not the point. The point is still that I can have my heart open, so that Jesus can work through me, and that the people can find this love, what is in me. And I'm a person, I'm loving deeply. I never can understood why people hate other people. Never ever. So, and I had a special trip to Syria, where I found some orphans on the streets, and this is a totally different story. But I can see that everybody was once a child. Everybody. And even when you look now to Israel, and you see what's going on there with the Hamas and the Hezbollah and the Al-Shabaab in Mozambique, and they are killing and destroying people, and this is so worse. But everybody was once a child. So, and I can't let the love go. So, and when I was at your church at the beginning of December, I stayed with a friend in Edinburgh, and it already started in the morning that I felt Holy Spirit on me, and my spirit was bubbling up. I never experienced this. I experienced a lot, but this was really special. So, and it felt like fire in me. So, and I went to a church service and felt still this presence, this bubbling up. And then I served in the healing rooms with Duncan and my friend, and everything was okay. And then I asked for prayer. So, and my spirit was already totally on fire. So, and then they started to pray for me. What is next for me? Where should I go? Whatever. So, because this is always a question for me, because I'm on the road for Jesus, and I do nothing without asking Jesus. So, and there was this burning fire on me. My whole body was so on fire. It was so hard. It was like that I was broken for the broken world. I can't explain it. And in this moment, I was screaming my head off, and I was asking the Lord for the love for the enemy of the world. The enemy of the world. It doesn't matter if it's Hamas, Hezbollah, ISIS, Al-Shabaab, or whoever. Somebody must start to break the circle of hatred. Somebody must start to break this circle. So, and we need to break the circle with love. So, and in this moment, Jesus was expanding my heart for this love, for this deep love for the enemy of the world. I never experienced like this. And it went 24 hours, that I was so under fire. And I discovered that not only the forgiveness is so important for us, but also to keep open our hearts so that the people can find Jesus in us, and they can find the love they need. Because when love is reign on earth, everything is okay. When Jesus is there, when Holy Spirit is there, when the Father love is God hitting us, everything is okay. I know what I'm speaking of because I was baptized in the Father love third time. So, and even when it was hard and I couldn't almost contain it, it was the most amazing things I ever experienced in my life. And it healed so much in me. But what I have experienced now with this love of the enemy is way much bigger than I could ever ask for. And I was stumbling the whole time. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. And I want to be this follower of Jesus, and I don't have to go at the cross because Jesus did it already. He overcame the world. But we need to love the people. We need to love our enemies. This is so important. And I will never ever close my heart. It doesn't matter how I get hurt. And this is so important. Forgiving the people and to stand up and to speak against the hatred of this world. Stand up and pray for the enemy of the world. Pray for the ISIS. Pray for the Hamas. Pray for the Hezbollah. You name it. Pray for your enemies. I'm a journalist. I'm a storyteller. I can write about it. I can speak about it. But you can do your thing. It doesn't matter where you are. You can love your neighbor when the neighbor is hurting you. You can forgive your husband, your wife. You can still love on your kids, even they are crazy in the teenage year, whatever. And you can give prisoner a second chance. I know somebody who's taking in prisoners to work. So, but the important thing is that we not should shut down our hearts, because then nobody can find love. And this is what's going on at the world. I remember when the whole Corona thing took place, I was a lot on the road there still. It was strange sitting in empty trains and empty airports and whatever. So, but I could see that the world was so full of hatred at this point. And it was a similar spirit of the anti-Semitism, what took place in the Second World War with Hitler. And just remember, Hitler was also someday a baby. We have all our stories. I know the story of my adopted father. I know why he abused me. This is not an accuse, never ever. So, or my mother who cast me into the basement when I was so small and I was sitting in the darkness. I know also her story. And we should keep loving on the people. We should keep loving on the people. And this was the reason it was so difficult for me to overcome my second husband, because we were really soulmates. And I knew his story, of course. He was so broken. It's not an excuse, never ever. So, but we should keep this in our mind, that everybody has a story. And I know that the Hamas, when they entered Israel on the 7th of October, they were so completely full with drugs, with cocaine, so that they could do what they have done. And it is so terrible. And all the hatred of the thousands and thousands of years they've grown up with, it's destroying every life. So, and when nobody is left, all the terrorism groups will fight each other. of course, because there's still hatred on the world. So, and I for myself can only say, please stand up and do something about this hatred of the world. Where you are standing, what you are capable of, whatever it is, stand up against the hatred of the world and love your enemy. And this is my inner burning. This is really my inner burning for the rest of my life. I know this. To speak against this hatred and to dream the same dream Martin Luther King dreamed of, and all the people who came after him or were before him and shared the same dream, that the world can full of love. And yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you. And a special thank you to Duncan, and he was there when Jesus expanded my heart for the love of the enemy. And I think maybe he can tell you something more. So, and I have another special thank you to say to the wonderful stranger who opened my heart, and I will never close it again. Okay, this was my heart for today, and I bless you with this. Bye.